Because I'm going to roll down weak, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick the linebackers to the trip side. I'm going to hit this Mike linebacker. One of the reasons I do that is one of the weaknesses in this coverage is perimeter runs to the trip side because the left safety's not in a great position to play D-gap force. Okay? So what I can do, because I'm rolling down weak, all right, and what I mean by that is
what are you doing,
right?
computer?
Of the field, I'm going to roll this.
Come on, man, fix that.
Corner off the weak half. If they have a back that's in position to run vertical, well then maybe I'll play some type of palms coverage with the corner and the safety on the back of the receiver. Okay, to where if I can put my safety in a better situation to defend the back vertical. All right, I don't see a lot of tailback vertical out of 3-by-1. When teams want to do that, I'll see more empty. Okay, and they'll put the back in empty 3-by-2, in which case we would just play palms coverage to that set. So if the two's in a position to go vertical, I may want to play palms on that side. But if the two's in the backfield in the pistol, or if he's on the strong side, I'm going to roll this safety down and play sky coverage here, and I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to play him off the half. I can defend the hitch and the out cut and the slant cut by number 1. I can defend the deep routes by number 1 with the corner, and now I can defend D-gap runs to the single side. Okay?
Oh, man, come on, man. You guys got to get in possession, man. The quarter's going to finish.
The linebacker only has to be a B-gap player.
Like tomorrow.
If this team is running strong, all right, or if the back is set strong and all the runs go to the trip side, then the Will can make himself an A-gap cutback play. And then the right safety can make himself a fold player in the B-gap. If you're getting weak side runs, well then now the Willie can slam the B-gap or with the right safety in the D-gap, and now the Mike has to be the fold cutback player. If you're not comfortable with that, you may want to gap exchange your lineman to help you in the run game, all right? Gap exchange your lineman, and now you take away the A-gap and the B-gap, so on cutback, the Mike doesn't have to fold in as hard on the cutback. Problem with that is speed option sprint out to the front side, now you're giving a little bit of a weak edge, okay? So again, what you have to understand is what they're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish in your coverage, okay? So now to this side, we're playing 2 read with man on 1. The Mike now becomes the inside palms player, which means he's going to try and deny the vertical or deny number 3 from crossing his face. He doesn't have to deny the vertical by 3 because the vertical is played by the free safety. What he does want to try
fucking press the button, man.
Crossing his face, and he wants to make sure that the 4 can't out-leverage him to the flat. All right? I've seen some teams that like to grab the ball and immediately throw the flare to this tailback because they have numbers on the outside. By hipping the Mike linebacker, you put him in position to not let the tailback out-leverage him. So now when you get this flare action right here, the Mike's in position to play. And again, I think you can do that because of the weak side drop down. I think you can kick your linebackers that way because you're not counting on your backside safety to play, all right, number 3 vertical on the front side. Again, the second thing that I think it strengthens you is I think it strengthens you to empty checks. All right, so now if this team wants to put a receiver out here and empty, all right, now I can go ahead and I can play my regular 2 read to this side, and now I would just hit the Willie a little bit, and then again I can gap exchange quarterback runs or do something different if I needed to on that side, but it allows me to play 2 read. I see way too many teams in empty get beat on 3 vertical because their concept is using the backside safety on 3 vertical, and then when it comes out empty and he stays, he doesn't relate the coverage check to the front side and 3 runs vertical down the field. So another strength of this coverage is we're real good to empty. Okay? We're going to have a little bit of a problem with perimeter runs, so we got to be able to handle that. All right? Going to have a little bit of a problem with spacing routes. Now, if you get good 3-step teams, if they can get the 1 down the field and they can put 2 and 3 on the quick out, that's going to give you a little bit of an issue as well. Okay? But I think we're strong against the bubble. I think we're strong against 4 verticals. All right? Now, the next thing would be a stress or a solo concept, and this is probably the number 1 way that 2 high 4-3 or 3-4 teams defend trips when they don't have the extra safety in the game. Okay, what we're talking about is playing the backside safety on 3 vertical. Okay, so you can keep 6 in the box here because you're in better position, all right, versus perimeter runs now because your outside backer or down safety here is going to play between number 2 and number 3. All right? Your left corner and your free safety, they're going to play normal 2-read rules along with this down safety who's going to play two read rules. So this down safety, his rules are going to be 2 doesn't cross my face, 3 doesn't out leverage me. So these 3 players are still playing 2-read. You allow your Mike and your Will to stay in the box where they belong, okay? So you don't have to hip and bump. So the Mike and the Will.
Oh man!
It's going to be a curl defender. Doesn't have to worry about 3 vertical because we're going to take the backside safety, all right, and we're going to play this backside safety in a trap or a stress concept where he is going to handle number 3 vertical. Okay, so your Mike will be the short wall of 3 vertical. Your right safety will be the long wall of 3 vertical. Now, the problem with that is you now have to play man on the single here, and you have to play man with the inside linebacker on any number 2 releases to the single side. Okay, so now you've got yourself in man here, all right? And now you have to support weak side runs with the down safety or right safety, free safety, who is also responsible for 3 vertical to the strong side. Okay? The next issue is you're out leveraged to the bubble. So now if 3 runs the bubble, okay, now if you get 3 bubble, and now you get 1 stalk, 2 block here, now your free safety has to do a good job in space of turning this back to a longer run by the Mike. So now you're out leveraged to the bubble in 3-by-1. So if the team's a big bubble team, okay, then you probably don't want to play a bunch of trap or stress because you're going to get the bubble screen. All right? You're not great versus the quick game to 1 and 2 out of trips, but I think anytime you play a quarters concept, you have to understand that you're probably going to give up the flats, all right, to the field side in quarters concept. How can you take that away? All right, you can roll your corner up here and play bail. All right, you can put your corner here like you're playing mixed man or cover 2, and he can bail and read. Number 2, as he's bailing, if 2 goes to the flat, he can get up there and play it. That can take away some of the pressure of the quick game just by showing a different look while playing the same coverage. But I think if you're going to play that version of coverage, you have to be willing to give up the field side flats because that's what quarters coverage does. Okay? Again, I think it strengthens you to perimeter runs now because your down safety outside linebacker is in a better position to force those perimeter runs. I think it allows your Mike and your Will to play the same 6-man box principles they normally play, so it puts them at a little bit higher comfort level. Okay? But I think the problem now is man-to-man on the single, man-to-man on the back, and D-gap weak side runs. Okay? So again, if you started with your mix concept, and then you went to a stress, solo, trap concept, whatever you want to call it, okay? Now you've got 2 things that can alleviate some of the problems. You can defend perimeter runs a little bit better here, and you can defend weak side throws and runs better out of mix. So again, there's 2 concepts that kind of play off of one another, okay, that help you defend trips and defend a single. All right? The last one we're going to talk about today is just a roll concept. Okay, just a roll 3 deep concept, strong side roll, which is a great concept to use because you can disguise it out of your 2 high coverage looks. Okay, so what I like to do, you can also roll a corner or a safety. I'll show you both. Okay, what I like to do is I like to give the mix look, all right, with my secondary. I like to give the mix look, and now I'm going to roll to the trip side. So what I like to do is I like to give the mix look that we normally play. All right, then what we're going to do is this left safety is now he's going to be down, and he's now going to be your curl flat defender. Okay? Now what you do is you slam your free safety down, and he becomes your hook curl defender. Okay? Now you take the corner and bail him out to a deep third. You take the right safety and you spin him to the middle deep third, and now you take the right corner and he plays a deep third. Okay? Now what you're going to have to do out of this concept is you're probably going to have to slide your backers a little bit to the weak side, because now what's going to happen is this Willie linebacker is going to be a flat force defender on the weak side. Okay? So again, you may have to do some things all right, you may have to run some exchanges here. Maybe you run, all right, the twist exchange to cancel out the A gap here so that your Mike can help to the weak side B gap if your Willie is a weak side D gap player. All right, so I think you got to worry about weak side runs a little bit. I think you got to worry about weak side throws a little bit, okay, because of a deep third concept with an inside Willie linebacker that's pushed out. Now, if you're willing to give those things up, then that's fine, okay? But I think what you're doing now, by slamming down, all right, into a 3 deep concept, I think what you're doing now is now you're helping defend the bubble, because now you got 2 immediate, all right, curl flat, hook curl players. You can be outside of 2 with leverage, all right? So now you got a player that can turn this right back to the free safety using the hook curl. I think you're helping defend the spacing concepts, because now, all right, if they were to run, you know, vertical double out concepts, now you've got a curl flat player and a hook curl player that can expand on the out of number 3. So I think you're helping your spacing concepts. I think you're helping the bubble. I think you're helping perimeter runs. But I think you're weakening your weak side, okay, D-gap runs, all right? You can help that by gap exchanging and bumping. But I think you're also weakening your single receiver coverage, all right? While at the same time understanding that this now becomes 1 high, which right away gives you the threat of 4 verts. Now you've got to split 4 verticals and understand how to defend 4 verticals out of a 1 high structure. All right, so I always try to avoid 1 high structures when I'm playing 4 wide teams because I don't want to give up 4 verticals. Okay, but again, it's a change-up, and it's something that you're disguising, and it's something that you're using with your other packages. Okay, this would just simply be called roll. Now, the other thing you could do, all right, is you could roll with a corner down. All right, so what you can do is you can leave your corner there, all right, and now what you can do from here is you can roll both safeties. Now what you can do is you can leave your corner down, maybe to press funnel the 1 if they're a quick game team, all right, out leverage the bubble, all right. You can now take this safety and you can drop him down to be, he now becomes
controller,
your hook curl defender. This now becomes your curl flat defender, and now you can spin both safeties, where he now becomes your deep third, and he now becomes your deep middle third, okay? So again, I think you can roll a lot of different ways. You can roll with the safety slam down, you can roll with the corner slam down. Again, I would roll based on what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to take away, but it's still a strong side 3 deep roll. So you're still going to have the same strengths here, but you're going to have the same weaknesses on the backside. Okay, so again, with defending trips, I think it comes down to, number 1, what are you comfortable with? Number 2, what are they trying to run? Okay, and most importantly for me, I think you have to be able to take away what they're going to run. So you have to have at least one version of a coverage that balances out the other. So if you get a version of coverage like mix, where you're weak to perimeter runs but real strong to weak side runs and weak side throws, then I think you need a version of roll or stress where you're stronger to trip side runs, but you're a little bit weaker to single side throws. Now you can go into a game plan with your
He was doing all those
you can say, all right, what is this?
onside kicks playing around, right? But when I switched it up on him, I started doing certain things to him. He changed. I could see if we have if I was playing him face to face, he would be playing around, like joking around, ha 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 ha, and then he got serious and he got spooked. I could see him like get spooked out. I was just in another level in my mind. I was like boom 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 boom. That freaking control, yo. That shit is fucking frustrating, yo, but it feels good. It feels good. I knew I could come back. I was like, let me change. That's what I said. Let me change the control. I'm gonna shut this guy down. I shut him down, and then he turned serious. He was trying to win the game, but he just couldn't. He was stuck. You know what? This is going on YouTube. This is going on YouTube. I'll be real with you. You're not ranked, friend. You're not ranked, man. We need to laugh, man. I'm gonna send you a friend request.